Get the latest Zacks research, analysis, and rankings on exchange-traded funds in Exploring ETFs. We're going to get the lowdown now on Brazil ETFs in light of what's going on in that region with our ETF strategist, Eric Dutram. So there have been elections out there?
That's right. We just saw a presidential election down in Brazil, and a lot of investors out there who have exposure to emerging markets, they've been kind of focused on Russia, given some of the geopolitical risks there, and China's having a slowdown. But actually, Brazil has been pretty volatile as well, thanks to some recent elections, and they've actually had an economic slowdown of their own. So, it's definitely worthwhile to take a look at how that country's been doing and what's been going on there. Obviously, the economy's been in pretty rough shape. We've seen currency issues and just a general slowdown. So there was kind of a debate over whether the incumbent was going to win re-election or not. Granted, poverty levels are down, so a lot of the lower class people are, still very, very happy with the situation. But some of the state-run companies are doing pretty poorly. There's been a lot of corruption and other issues like that. So it's been kind of a tug-of-war there for the election. And incumbent Dilma Rousseff was going up against, forgive me on the pronunciation here, Neves, I think is how you pronounce it, for the presidency. And she managed to barely beat out the challenger to get another 4 years for the presidency. So it was a closely fought race, but she did manage to hang on.
So is there a market or investor impact to all of that?
Definitely. And, granted, Dilma Rousseff was the incumbent, so she had been president for a little bit, and investors obviously know what she's going to do for the markets. People didn't really care for her approach to the economy, and we saw a lot of volatility. Stocks would actually go up if Neves was going to look like he was going to pull through and win, and they would slide very heavily if Rousseff took the lead on the vote. So, it was kind of a back and forth here for a little bit, but once Rousseff won, the Brazilian market was down about 4%. And the currency actually hit a 9-year low after her victory. So clearly, a lot of investors don't care for her take on the markets and her approach to the investing world down in Brazil.
So you've brought, as you always do, some examples of some ETFs in this space. First one we're going to look at, ticker EWZ.
That's right. This is actually the most popular Brazilian ETF on the market today. It has mostly a large cap exposure, so you're going to get a lot of state-run, state-backed companies. And one of the biggest holdings here is Petrobras. This company was actually down 14% on Monday following the vote. So clearly investors aren't a big fan of Rousseff and her kind of dealings with this giant oil company down there. So we could see some more weakness out of this company. Granted, EWZ is actually a number 3 rank right now, but it has been down 20% in the last 3 months alone. So definitely some significant weakness in this key Brazilian ETF.
Okay, and you're not just focused on large caps either. There's a small cap fund here too, right?
That's right. There's actually 2 small cap funds that we're looking at, BRF and EWZS. Those are the 2 main ones to choose from. Granted, these don't have a lot of exposure to the state-run oil companies, but you're going to get a lot of consumer and industrial companies. And these are going to be hard hit by inflation worries and kind of the currency issues that I brought up earlier in terms of exports and those types of issues. Both of these have a Zacks ETF rank of 4, and they have been down about 20% in the last 3 months as well. So they haven't really escaped any of this volatility either.
Have leveraged or inverse products been impacted?
Definitely. Speaking of volatility here, we've seen some pretty huge performances in the leveraged and inverse ETF market targeting Brazil. BZQ is up 33.6% over the last 3 months. UBR is down 38%, and these are the 2X versions. And then we also have a 3X version, BRZU. This has lost 54% in just the past 3 months alone.
Wow.
So definitely, if you're going to play the Brazilian market with leverage, you should pay close attention because we've seen some pretty big swings here.
So I just want to be clear. Are you putting up like a warning flag here about these Brazilian ETFs?
Definitely. I think we're going to see some more weakness here over the next couple weeks, maybe even the next month or so. Definitely investors might want to avoid those leveraged ones given how volatile they've been. We could see some strength as we move past 2014 into 2015. But it's definitely going to be volatile until Rousseff comes up with a better economic plan and investors kind of embrace what she's trying to do down there in Brazil. Until then, it's going to be very back and forth, and I personally would just stay away from the market until we get some better news out of the country.
So no hope for a turnaround anytime soon.
I don't think so.
Okay, thanks for that, Eric. And as always, you can go to the ETF section of our website, zacks.com, check out more ETF commentary, educational articles, and other interesting information, all put there for your review. Link to it right off the homepage at zacks.com. If you're not there already, get on over. With Eric, I'm Terry Ruffalo.